Clayton, to start the Tennessee game, I believe you were lining up kind of off, maybe 10 or 15 yards cushion with your DBs off the receivers. Just what was the strategy and the thinking there?
Well, the strategy, really was to go out there and just play our game first and foremost. Obviously, as the game got going, our guys got used to the pace of play and they kind of got back to our normal alignments. I think that was the main reason that really, that's not always the plan is to play with that kind of cushion. But obviously, our guys got to adjust it. It's on me as a football coach to do a better job of making sure they start the game out in the correct way, in the correct alignments.
Clayton, obviously RJ didn't play the first half, but just getting him back in there, how much did that help settle things maybe on the back end? And I guess what did you see from him that maybe, allowed you guys to have the success you guys did have in the second half?
Well, RJ, I thought he did a great job throughout the first half and throughout the week and treating it like a normal week. I think he grew as a person, as a player through this past week, going through some adversity. The football team backed him, and everyone was ready to watch him go out there and play. It did settle us down a little bit to get that experienced player back there on the back end and to help us make sure we was in the right spot and guys were doing the right things. It was a better performance. Obviously, frustrated about it. We want to correct some things and keep our gloves up in this fight. Make sure we are ready to keep going.
Clayton, how would you evaluate the run defense over the last 3 weeks, specifically against Tennessee? And from a coaching staff perspective, what can you guys do to make things a little bit better, maybe a little bit tighter there?
Yeah, we definitely want to improve that area. Obviously evaluating things right now over a short period of time, you definitely want things to be better. We feel like right now there's a variety of run games. There's running back runs, there's quarterback plus runs, there's scrambles. So all that stuff add up into one, and we're just going to continue to fight here as a football team. Obviously it's a lot of football left, a lot of things that can be corrected, and we feel like the mistakes that we are making are very correctable. We feel like we have the talent. We know we have the talent to go out and play better run defense, and that's obviously the goal. The coaches, we take it very hard, and our players do too, and I think that's the most important thing. And our whole team knows that stopping the run and running the football is a formula of winning that Coach Beamer talks about every single week. So we're going to grind at it. Like I said, we're going to keep our gloves all the way up in this fight to make sure that we are doing whatever we can for this football team to get better.
Who are the guys on the defensive line who you feel like have excelled at stopping the run so far this year?
Well, run stopping is everybody. So it's the corners, it's the safeties, it's the linebackers. It's not just one position and not just one area. So the run defense is a collective thing. So a run that pops outside and we don't get the proper leverage on the outside has nothing to do with the defensive line. So we're going to continue to talk about team defense and run defense and not try to make it about the front when it's run defense and the DBs when it's pass defense. We are a team defense and we are focused on that. So that's really what we talk about, really.
And not to make any excuses for it, but
yes,
how much has Sherrod been missed from that standpoint?
We have guys behind Sherrod who are capable of playing just as well as Sherrod. Obviously, Sherrod is more missed from his presence, just who he is. And, obviously he was a good football player. He still is a good football player. But obviously, that to me, there's no blame there as far as him being out, the reason why and all that kind of stuff. But obviously, we would love to have Sherrod. The deeper you are doing this run, the better you are as a football team and a defense for sure.
Kind of sticking with Sherrod a little bit, but just what have you seen from Damani over the last couple games since Sherrod's been out, and what have you seen from him specifically, and then some of the young guys, maybe Adiba Williams or Mo Kaba, as they come along in practice? Obviously,
they're getting more reps now, so the more reps you get, and the better you are, and the better you become. And I think Damani's taking every single rep at practice, and that he needs to improve. He coming in, getting the extra work, and obviously asking the right questions. He understands the game very well. I think the main thing with Kaba is he just want to just continue to get more reps. The young guys, Mo Kaba, so when one guy goes down, another guy has to step up. Darrell Ware, Mo Kaba, Darrell Williams, those guys are getting more reps at practice, and those guys are coming along. I think that's all about the development of a football player and a team. When one guy go down, someone else has to step up, and been proud of those guys. Very appreciative of their work.
Clayton, I hate to use like percents, so I wasn't a good math whiz, but my question is, at this point of the season, going into this year, did you envision this defense being able to pick up what you guys have been able to implement, or do you kind of feel like it's maybe a little behind, or is it right on schedule?
I feel like we are right where we need to be at as far as this football team. Every team is different. Every season is different. every personnel is different, so you have to adjust your scheme and everything to wherever you are. But I think those guys are doing a great job. Every week, some plays that we may put in on week 2, we haven't ran because of the situation, but we're still repping those plays. Now it is week 7, and those guys know it like the back of their hand. So that's the beauty part about, and when you're installing your defense, you have training camp, then you have the weeks to prepare and all that kind of stuff. But I think they're doing a really good job. I got to tip my hat off to all those guys, especially the DBs, learning the things and communicating. We always trying to get better. It's a race to get better every single day, and that's still it's never over. I tell the guys that hay is never in the barn here, so we always trying to, get work in and continue to get better every single rep until the season's over, pretty much.
Clayton, even amid the really fast start that Tennessee's
Yep.
offense got off to last week, when you were looking at your guys in the eye on the sideline, what were you noticing in terms of what you were seeing behind their eyes, body language? Were there any silver linings and/or positives that you were seeing during that game from your defensive guys?
Obviously at the moment you're frustrated. Everybody's pissed. Everybody's mad. Everybody wants to figure out what's going on. But it was happening very fast. Things kind of turned real fast. But I think we just kept talking to each other. Coach Beamer kept running up down the sideline, talking to us to stay in it, because there's a lot of ball left. This thing can go. It could have got a lot worse. But our guys had their look in their eyes like, listen, what are we doing here? Like, let's tighten up. Let's get this thing slowed down just a little bit so we can get back in this football game. And our guys know that there's been some wild things happen on Saturdays throughout the fall over the years. So we just kept saying that on the sideline, and we felt like, all it takes is a fumble, scoop and score, or a tip pick, or a kickoff return, run back, or a pop played by our offense, or anything can happen. So we just kept that mindset, and we just kept grinding and kept going, and obviously ran out of time.